I want to kick it off with this. You know, obviously we had Mike Farrell on the show yesterday. Talked a little Arch Manning. He thinks he's overrated a little bit. Now, not saying he's a bad player, but he's not what everybody is hyping up, and it's gotten pretty big on social media. There's some great responses under there, some great debate going on. But the people that say, oh, you're talking trash about a 17-year-old is hilarious to me for a couple reasons. Number one, just because you're saying somebody isn't as good as what everybody else thinks they are, doesn't mean that you're actually personally attacking the kid for who he is. That's how you evaluate. If you've ever been in the business of coaching or ever had to recruit or be in a war room or evaluate film, stuff that gets said, the amount of kids that get made fun of that you're looking at film at or evaluating, it would shock people. And now these 17, 18-year-old kids are getting $1 million NIL deals almost, getting a lot of big money. So to me, that's the most naive thing to say. It shows that you really know nothing about anything because that kid's probably going to your team. That's all it is. But people have a hard time, I think, when you're being honest about evaluating somebody. And that's not to say that Arch won't. Like I said, I think he's going to redshirt his first year. I think he's going to be a really good player. It's going to be really hard for him to live up to the hype. But just because you evaluate somebody and think they may be overrated doesn't mean you're absolutely dogging a kid. And some people out there need to grow up.
Was that the consensus? What is?
No. Just a couple people. It always happens when you say something about somebody's team. Not? That's exactly.
Yeah,
right.
it's real simple for me about this. I don't care about your opinion.
But what are we talking about here?
Yeah, it just
playing football or not?
It makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
I mean,
yeah. All right, Lamar Jackson was not ranked among the top 10 NFL quarterbacks by ESPN. Shocker that they're clueless. Tiger Woods calls out fellow golfers for joining LIV, and we rank our top 5 toughest college stadiums to win in. I'm Jake Crane, and we're turning up on a Tuesday. Lamar Jackson hasn't signed his extension yet, and it got us thinking, where should the dynamic signal caller be ranked when it comes to NFL quarterbacks right now? To me, it's a no-brainer he's a top 10 quarterback for a couple reasons. Yeah, he's won the league MVP, led the league in passing touchdowns, and he's helped get the Ravens out of more pickles than a Mount Olive factory. But there is an aspect to his game that very few NFL quarterbacks have. That is absolutely elite running and escapability. Jackson isn't just a guy that can break a run for 30 yards. He can hit it from 70, 80 out. And we always talk about the more things you're better at, the more chances you have for success. Now, that's true in business, athletics, and really life in general, and Lamar can wear many hats. Defenses can't overplay him in the pass game or the run game because he's shown the capability to excel at both. So you almost have to either play him even or take risks consistently throughout the game, which is dangerous. And the amount of pressure he puts on defenses from inside the pocket and outside the pocket have kept more coaches up than a Vyvanse prescription. Now, he can also extend plays for a crazy amount of time, making it harder to cover receivers for longer, therefore opening up big plays and busted plays in the passing game. Now, while he can still improve, which we all can, I have no doubts he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And the Ravens need to go ahead and pay this man and get it out of the way. But his best asset isn't physical. His teammates love him, and they want to play for him. He doesn't just ask for respect, he commands it. As Ravens Vice President Ozzie Newsome said recently on our show, nobody will outwork him. So you add up all the variables, and it equals one thing. Lamar Jackson is a witch of the highest order. And guys, we're going to drop our top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, which obviously is going to be...
Yes.
Can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. Nobody's going to have Kirk Cousins, probably top 5.
Can't wait.
But when you look at Lamar, and I know the Ravens are going to pay him. I mean, you listen to the way Ozzie Newsome talked about him. I mean, they love the guy to death. But when you look at his ability, when you match the throwing, which I know is not the best in the league, but it for sure isn't the worst. I mean, the guy has shown the ability to throw the ball. Last year, I know he was beat up. I think he took a little, too many chances last year at times. But you have to worry about the run game and the pass game. The play action scares you. The boot scares you. Him escaping the pocket, keeping the play. Him and Hollywood Brown were hitting plays down the field left and right because he turns it into a rope-de-dope and it's tough to tackle him. Now, you got guys that are able to extend the play within the pocket. We always talk about Mac Jones, right? Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, guys like that. But when you look at Lamar Jackson and Mahomes and Kyler Murray, it always scared me more when guys were able to escape the pocket outside and keep the play going, shading to one side of the field, because now you're getting crossers. And that's what always used to scare me to death as a defensive guy. So having said that, when you look at Lamar, Do you think he is the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL before we drop our top 10?
Well, that's interesting because there's a lot of that has to do with what we always talking about, keeping from getting squared up.
Yeah,
right? Like
true.
That's when I look at Russell Wilson, I look at Kyler Murray. But I will say that he has surpassed all my expectations as an NFL quarterback. Coming out, I just didn't think, he's always been electric. It reminded me a lot of playing with Denard Robinson, been electric, in the college game. I didn't think he would be able to stand in the pocket the way he has and conduct himself as an NFL quarterback on the field from the pocket, even when he doesn't escape. A lot of the touchdowns he's throwing, man, he's moving around inside the pocket. He's not always breaking contain. So he has surpassed my expectations already as an NFL quarterback, and kudos to that because that's the level at the highest order. What will he do moving forward? I think he has benefited greatly from playing in a very structured environment. The Ravens are as good as it gets.
Great organization.
And he should want to be there. So that's what I was thinking when it comes to contract negotiations. I don't know all the minutiae. I don't know who's playing games and who's trying to leverage that extra little bit and what's going on with Ozzie Newsome and the franchise side. But to me, he should want to be a Raven. That's where he has had success. That's where he can continue to have success under John Harbaugh.
Yeah, well, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm taking a page out of a pretty famous boy band. Please don't break my heart. So, Blaine, you're a big Lamar fan.
Yeah, I am. If you don't have Lamar Jackson in your top 10, you're just playing dumb. I don't know what else to say. I would say best dual threat quarterback, in my opinion, is Josh Allen.
Really?
Josh Allen's a dual threat quarterback.
I don't. That's not a bad.
He had 800 yards rushing. You're a dual threat quarterback.
He does it a different way.
Yeah, he does, but he's still. He's huge. He's run. He's athletic. He can do it all. But the thing about Lamar was always the question of, can he be that guy in the pocket? Dave, you mentioned, can he be that pocket passer? Because you just can't be a runner in the NFL. You won't last. And we've seen Lamar grow and grow and grow, and people still don't give him the respect he deserves. You go back to last year, he had his team ranked number 1 in the AFC, gets hurt. He was number 1 in passing on throwing outside the numbers. The kid was doing it all. It seems that people are caught in a way of looking at him to where he's not like the other quarterbacks, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Lamar is nowhere past number 8, in my opinion, in top 10, and he's only going to get better. But now comes a standpoint when it comes back to getting squared up with great quarterbacks too. Lamar has to stay healthy, and that's for Lamar and the Ravens. You got to think about how bad the Ravens were hurt as a football team last year. The most hurt team in the NFL. Lamar is a top 7 quarterback at least, and if you got him anywhere lower than that, I can't help you.
Look, the dude's won a Heisman Trophy, NFL MVP, Burt Bell Award. The guy's won a lot. But let's go ahead and throw our lists up there. We'll start with mine, the top 10 quarterbacks, Cone, in the NFL. Here's what I got. And I want to make sure we understand the parameters. This is if I am drafting number 1 overall, I'm taking a quarterback, and I'm looking at it as a wholesome situation. Not just, he's a really good thrower or he's a really good runner. How are you in the locker room? How do you interact with other players? How much do they want to play for you? If I'm building an organization around you, I want Tom Brady number 1. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. I know he's a little bit older. He may not be as crisp as he's always been, but Tom Brady is a guy that guys want to play with because he knows they're going to elevate the profile is going to get elevated. Tom Brady is a guy that in the locker room is going to make sure that not only the role players are doing what they're supposed to do, he holds stars accountable. Antonio Brown's really the only one he wasn't able to get a handle on. You could say Aaron Hernandez, but I think you're being a little bit picky there. So I'm going to go Tom Brady 1. Aaron Rodgers physically is the best quarterback to me overall. I got him at number 2. But I would want Tom Brady to be willing to take a pay cut. If I went over to Tom Zocker and I said, hey, man, I need you to take a little bit off so we can make the team as good as possible to go win a championship. I think Tom Brady's going to say, you know what? I want to win championships. Let's do it. Aaron Rodgers is going to say, no, I want a key to the vault to the city. So I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers 2. Mahomes, I'm going to go 3, speaks for itself. Really, between him and Josh Allen, that 3 and 4 was probably the hardest decision that I had when it comes down to it, Cone. So I'm going to put Patrick Mahomes 3, Josh Allen 4. Give me Joe Burrow 5. Let's just be realistic. The guy had an offensive line that was about as physical as an invisibility cloak. So once they get that settled around him and Jamar Chase, I'm loving the connection there. And then Russell Wilson, another dual threat guy, another guy, Cone, you brought up, that doesn't get squared up a lot. And I know he's probably going to get suspended this year, but they haven't announced a suspension yet. So I'm going Deshaun Watson at 7. Look, Deshaun Watson's an elite quarterback. You can think what you want. I know he's going out there getting old fashions and doing whatever, but he's an elite quarterback there at 7, allegedly. Let me say that, allegedly. Matt Stafford at 8, coming off a Super Bowl. I love Matt's, nuance. He's got unbelievable touch. He's got an absolute howitzer attached to his shoulder. But I think there's a lot of quarterbacks you could have put on the Rams last year with Cooper Kupp and that supporting cast, and they would have gone and won a Super Bowl. Then give me Lamar at 9. That's where I got him. I kind of went back and forth with him and Deshaun a little bit, believe it or not, but I got Lamar at 9, and then 2022-23 Super Bowl champion, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert. The dude's ceiling's higher than a Great Gatsby party living room. I'm really excited to see this.
I'm a little surprised to see him at 10 because you've been the highest on him, really, and I have him a little higher than you do. So do you think that Justin Herbert will be even higher next season?
I think he's going to take a big jump. The thing about Justin is I want to see it in the postseason. That's something we really haven't been able to evaluate yet. I want to see him when it's getting thick. I want to see him when it really comes down to it, but he has all the tools. Watching him, the way he keeps his eyes downfield, his poise in the pocket, he can throw rolling right, he can throw rolling left, and as a young guy, he's not afraid to take the check down. It's so hard, I think, sometimes, even quarterbacks that excelled in college, because, again, you're a lot more talented than a lot of people, but Justin Herbert seems to have a very, very high IQ with a big upside ability-wise, so I'm going to go Justin Herbert there.
One of those few NFL quarterbacks who was drafted more on ability or more on ceiling than current ability coming out of college.
That's exactly
because he didn't do as much as, say, a Tua did at Alabama when he was coming out of Oregon. It's sort of like an NBA draft mentality with Justin Herbert. Blew it out of the water last year. I expect to see big things from him as well. Bring up my list real quick.
All right,
I want to get yours and Blaine's.
We haven't seen these. I don't know what y'all have.
Okay, so first of all, I have to have Patrick Mahomes at the top of this list. Now, look, if we were drafting over the next 5 years, this list would look different. If we were drafting over the previous 5 years, this list would look different. But coming up this season, I have Patrick Mahomes at number 1, just what he's able to do physically with the football. And we're talking about dual threats. One of the biggest things about being a dual threat quarterback to me is escaping the pocket to create other opportunities to still throw the football. Yeah. Michael Vick was electrifying on the field, but a lot of times it was 3 and hitch, and if it's not there, you're taking off, and he's running a 90-yard touchdown, or he gets squared up and takes a big hit, and maybe he's out the rest of the season. A lot about being a dual threat when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, when it comes to Josh Allen, when it comes to Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray is being able to escape that pocket and create other opportunities to still get the ball out of your hand downfield. Tyreek Hill not being in Kansas City will have an impact, but still, give me Patrick Mahomes at 1. 2, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback who has ever lived. I think what he was able to do last season at that age, then retired, then came back. Tom Brady's number 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he adds another Lombardi trophy. 3, Aaron Rodgers is the most accurate quarterback who's ever played the game. If he had Tom Brady's mentality, his name would be Achilles. From there, to me, it plays out. You got Josh Allen. Look, I think Josh Allen might win the Super Bowl this season. You're talking about Justin Herbert. I think Josh Allen might win the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, a lot of people had Russell outside the top 10 when some of these lists were coming out. I still have him as a top 5 quarterback. I know he had the thumb injury. He has a new home. Will he have, great weapons in Denver? I think he has some weapons over there. What to expect in a new home. Russell Wilson, to me, there's a trust factor. There's a trust factor there, even coming off the season.
He's in the trust tree?
See. To me, he's in the trust tree. Russell Wilson is in the trust tree. You hear that? You should come on Crane & Company. Joe Burrow, look, number 6, went to a Super Bowl. Maybe he gets over the hump, Blaine, this year. What do you think?
Let's get some offensive line. You should.
I'm big on Joe Burrow, but I think he's great. I want to see just a little bit more from Justin Herbert, like we were just talking about. But still, I think the ceiling is
well, yeah. I mean, that offensive line could throw a block party if they lived in a cul-de-sac.
So I went back. You were talking about going back and forth on your 3 and 4. I was going back and forth on where to put Matthew Stafford because, again, there is a trust factor there in terms of what he's been able to accomplish in the league. I have him 8 right now, but, I mean, look, coming off a Super Bowl win, has a chance to win another one, puts the ball wherever he wants to. I mean, he's top 10 quarterback perennially. Then I have Lamar at 9, okay, Blaine, which I know you're not, which I know you're probably not pumped about. But right? Look, he is a top 10 quarterback. I have him in the list. Again, we have to say, I don't have Deshaun Watson on here, not because he's not a top 10 quarterback, but he didn't play last season. He may not play this season. To me, I had to remove him from that, and let's see what happens when he comes back. So then, that 10th spot, Blaine, I had to put our boy Kirk Cousins on the list at number 10, okay? Coin flip to me in terms of him and Dak Prescott. I went Kirk Cousins.
Love it.
And after that, you have the Daks and the Matt Ryans.
Well, again, I had Kirk number 11. So earlier when we were talking about him, I said he was a top 12 quarterback in the NFL. We talked about that earlier. To me, Kirk Cousins is the most underrated quarterback in the league. He's the most underrated. And I'll tell you right now, I'll tell Blaine, I'll tell Skip Bayless, I'll tell all the archangels and disciples. The Vikings will have a better year than the Cowboys. Remember I said it. They will have a better year than the Cowboys. Justin Jefferson, absolute witch. All right, I know the offensive line. There are some questions there. I trust the Vikings. I trust Kirk Cousins. Dalvin Cook, we all know he's gone. Gonzo the Clown. You can say it. You can laugh. They're both in divisions where you really got one other dog you're competing with the Cowboys. It's the Eagles. Obviously, with the Vikings, it's the Packers. I think the Vikings go further or have a better season than the Dallas Cowboys.
Woo.
You heard me, Dak. You heard me, Ezekiel Elliott. I will scream it from the star in Dallas, Will Kane, and all your boys. I want the smoke. Vikings, Cowboys, meh.
And Blaine, it's not easy to say that when he's a Michigan State quarterback, So there you have it. I know you're crying right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Bring up your list.
He's the most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
Most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
Hold on, what are we doing here at number 1, Blaine?
First of all, Zach Wilson.
I don't have
what you did.
I don't have a problem
After
with this.
what you did, okay? I didn't have an NFL team, Zach. I haven't been a fan of an NFL team. Grew up in Auburn, Alabama. Not a big NFL guy. I love watching it. But I tell you what, after the moves you made, after the city boy mentality you have, I'm a Jets fan now, buddy. I'm a Jets fan. I tell you what, even if you don't win the MVP, you won the MVP in my heart. There's 2 people I know who can control the Cougars.
Getting the Jets helmet.
All right? That's Ricky Bobby and Zach Wilson. That's who it is. Ride with the fear, Zach. He learned how to do that. All right, number 1, Josh Allen. I think he's the most talented quarterback
with the fear
in the NFL. Thank you. I think he's the most talented quarterback in the NFL, and I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl this year. That's right. You added Von Miller on the defensive side. Why'd you lose in the playoffs? Because you played against Patrick Mahomes. And the reason Patrick Mahomes is not higher to me because I think Tyreek Hill covered up a lot.
You're on that band. You're on that train then.
A lot of problems in there. There's no more running around. Let me close
You don't think
my eyes.
Juju?
Where's the fastest human going neat down the field and throw it 70 yards? Surprise, surprise. I'm wide open. Juju's not that guy. I promise you that. Number 2, the king, Tom Brady. I mean, the golden child. Has his own avocado, kisses kids on the lips, doesn't get in trouble for it. That's what he does. All right, why would I not? He's won everything that ever been known to man. I saw him make an eagle from a fairway the other day. What can this guy not do? Look at his wife. All right, number 3, Aaron Rodgers, back-to-back MVPs. I mean, is he weird? Yeah. Do I like the tattoo? Yeah. Does he go on weird diets? Yeah. But can he make any pass in the NFL? Yes. But do the Packers have enough around him? No. Have they ever? No. So that's why I can't put you at number 1 and number 2. Number 4, Patrick's still a freak.
Oh, now he's still a freak.
Hold on. I didn't say he wasn't a freak. Kirk Cousins at 10. I don't want to hear it, all right? Patrick Mahomes is still a freak. Crazy arm strength, crazy accuracy. His voice freaks me out. And hopefully his brother quits doing TikToks on the sidelines. That's the reason I have him at number 4. That's the reason. It freaks me out. Yeah, I can't like it. Number 5, Lamar Jackson.
At 6?
Lamar Jackson, all right? Like, this guy is the Ravens. Okay. He is the Ravens. He's everything for them. If you put any other quarterback on the Ravens right now with the way the Ravens are, they have 47 tight ends on their team.
Mark Andrews is a dog.
He is. He is. And I can't remember the other one, but I played Xbox with him.
South Carolina.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown's gone. Hollywood was a deep threat. But still, a healthy Lamar can do it all. Tell me something he can't do, and I'll show you a liar. All right? Then Russell Wilson.
I like it.
I went back and forth on this, all right? Because the thing about Russell is Russell gets into the habit of just running around sometimes, all right? And Russell's not as fast as he used to be. His arm's not what it used to be. And I still never forgive him for what he did on the 2. Some people blame Pete Carroll. I blame Russell Wilson. If anything, just don't throw the pass. Next play, we can run in Marshawn Lynch. But Brock Owens, it's going to take time. Young talent. It's going to take time. All right, number 7, Joey B. From college, this guy's been a true king. He's been sitting on his throne the entire time. Has anybody said anything bad about Joey B? He just went to the Super Bowl and almost won it without an offensive line. They were playing against Aaron Donald without an offensive line and almost won. Almost won. You're savage. Matthew Stafford, they invented the no-look pass.
He did.
Invented the no-look pass.
People think Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes did.
No, it was Staffy. It was Staffy. He's looking to the right, throwing slants across the field, hitting them right in the breadbasket. I can't even do that on a video game. All right, then Justin Herbert. Justin's going to probably has a higher ceiling, other than Joe Burrow, in my opinion, than all these guys. The thing about Justin, he's been surrounded with talent since he's been in the Chargers. He's got to do more in the playoffs to me. I think he has the talent. He needs to trust himself more. Maybe not make that pass late in games that you don't have to make, but I'll come with experience. And number 10, Dak Prescott. I know Dak has always put up great regular season numbers and faded away in the playoffs. He plays for the Cowboys. Everyone hates him. They're supposed to win the Super Bowl every year. But Dak's a good NFL quarterback, and he's for sure a top 10. If I was going to replace anybody with 10, it'd be Kyler Murray.
Can I ask you a question?
Kirk Cousins, maybe 13.
Can I ask you a question? And I don't mind this list. I'm shocked you don't have Joe Burrow, and I want to get to the Booster Club. We got to get the punter.
I do have Joe Burrow.
But I'm talking about higher. I'm surprised you had him at 7.
Who'd you put him in front of?
I'm talking to you, because I'm really high on Joe Burrow. You love Joe Burrow. So I decided to be higher.
I
But
do.
let me ask you
Look
this.
at the kid.
Let me ask you this.
Look at the kid.
Would you say that a top 10 NFL quarterback is just a good quarterback, or would you say a top 10
Elite.
NFL is elite? Well, you just said Dak was a good quarterback. So to me, I think you just
Well,
totally
here, let me
negated
change that.
your
Let me
whole
change
list.
that. Dak is elite. Is that better?
Is he? Elite?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so
Dak's
let me
an
ask
elite
this.
quarterback.
Let me push back.
Hold on,
a
let me
little
push
bit.
back.
Push back,
If
please.
you have,
push back.
you said you have, so you do have Kirk Cousins at 13.
I would say 12 or 13. I'd have to go.
Between 10, Dak at 10, who you initially said was a good NFL quarterback, and Kirk
I changed
at
it to
13.
elite, say elite. That's
Yeah, you changed it. Okay, Your Honor, I'm bringing up what you
That's
said
fine.
initially.
That's fine.
Okay?
Okay.
What you say can and will be used against you in
the-
this situation.
Yes,
all right?
exactly right.
Is there that big of a difference between 10 and 13 for you?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're splitting hairs sometimes with Dak and Kirk.
Yes.
At least with this last year's performance.
Kirk's mediocre. He's been mediocre.
Then why is he at 13? He's in
surrounded by,
the top
he's
half.
surrounded by phenomenal weapons in his entire
And Dak
career.
hasn't?
I mean, Zeke's not the same guy.
Got a great
I mean, let's
offensive
go.
line.
Okay, no.
Great offensive
no,
line.
that offensive line is old. Let's go to what the Vikings had this entire time with Kirk
He has
Cousins.
weapons.
Dak put Dak on the Vikings?
Is it
They're
that
going
different?
farther than they
Is
ever
it
been.
that
I promise that.
different?
Hell, Cone, we can put you on the Vikings, and you probably have some rings to show up with.
Blaine.
Well,
Kirk Cousins
that's
is
the most
mediocre,
backhanded
and it
compliment.
shows up in his record.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Dak's been surrounded by more weapons than Ukraine is right now. So I don't want to hear anything about weapons. The dude has more receivers than an AT&T cell tower.
Name 'em.
So I don't want to hear and Amari Cooper, I'll go down the list.
Old.
So I'm talking about when he was not old.
Keep going.
You're talking about
Keep going.
Ezekiel Elliott.
That's a running back. But all right.
Yes, okay, Blaine. Weapons
going.
are more than just a receiver. Now you've got CD Lamb.
Now you got CeeDee Lamb. Okay, keep going.
Oh, so
He's been in the league for 1 year.
not elite?
Been in the league for 1 year.
Okay, so tell me, who's Michael Gallup?
Mid.
Boy.
Michael Gallup?
Michael.
You're going to flex with Michael Gallup?
can
That's the most
scream.
mid-name. It's Michael Gallup. No one gets excited about Michael Gallup being on
You
your
can
team.
just because you scream louder doesn't mean
Okay,
you're
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. No one gets excited about Michael Gallup on your
Wow.
team.
Well, they're going to pay him. If you don't think Michael Gallup's good, then you don't know as much as I thought you did.
Michael Gallup's mid.
How should I feel personally inside about Blaine saying, hell, Cone, I mean, we could put you on the Vikings.
You know how I feel? You know how I feel? You played at Michigan and he played at Western Colorado. That's how I
But
feel.
do I feel good about that, or is that sort of like, hey, I like your hair, but it'd look better if you had on a better shirt? Is that like a back?
Well, look, it's,
Well, I'm just saying I think you're better than Kirk Cousins, Cone.
where I'm from, a backhand
sorry.
compliment
You
is
did go
still
to
a
Michigan
compliment.
State, so.
But Booster Club.
Their strikes one.
welcome.
Booster Club, Blaine. What are they saying?
Oh, God, I haven't looked at this in a second. Okay,
Yeah,
hold
I'm
on.
sure it's the chat's popping.
See what happens when you get caught up there?
Okay, all right, let's go.
Chat runs amok.
Let's go. Joe C. Why does Dak always beat Kirk when they meet up head to head?
I mean, what we're going to see this year, I'm telling you, the Vikings are going to go further than the Cowboys. I'm going to keep saying it. I'll scream it from the mountaintops.
Jonathan
Start a
Herman
family
says,
band.
"Blaine,
Let's travel
Stay off
together."
the sauce, man.
Yes, please, for all
No,
of us.
I will not. Dak is good, but not a top 10 Q.
Agreed. Hiking elevated, you couldn't be more right.
Charles Barkley says, Kyler Murray, come on, choke artist.
Ooh, Blaine's not going to like that. He's not going to like that at all.
I don't know if he's a choke artist.
I wouldn't say he's a choke artist. I do like what they have going on, though, in Arizona. I like the Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray situation.
Jay Hudson says Stafford, he didn't say Stafford, forgot the D, is better than Wilson 110%. I don't hate that, to be honest.
I would take Russell
I don't
over
hate that.
Matt. I
They're
would take
crazy. I'll take Russell over Matt, but they're a crazier take.
Muscle weighs more than fat. That's a heavyweight reference. So
Sister Rick says that Zach Wilson stuff is awkward. No, it's not.
it's not.
Unless you try to make it awkward.
Yeah.
Stop.
Don't make it awkward, Sister Riggs. Come on.
I agree with Sister Riggs.
You ready to get into punter go?
Let's go.
I knew that was going to take so long.
I love it. All right, we'll go fast here. Austin Riley and Ty France should be all-stars. Punter go.
Go. I'm going for it. It's 4th and inches. We got a great run game. Put Willie the Refrigerator Perry in there and let's run the ball. Austin Riley, I'm telling you, he's going to win an MVP before it's said and done. I'm watching
Austin
that guy.
Riley?
I'm just telling you, man. The dude can absolutely. I'm watching his growth. He struggled with the slider early. You've seen him make the adjustment. He's not chasing it away from the plate. The pitches are now coming to him. He's an all-star in my book. And then Ty France, of course, we were talking about it yesterday. I did, went back and looking at the Anthony Rizzo stuff. We talked about him making the being snubbed, I guess you could say, from the all-star game. I feel like Anthony Rizzo, again, people said he's washed up. I don't think he's washed up. I know he didn't have the greatest batting average or OBP right now, but he does have 22 home runs. He's playing with a short porch in right field. I've just always liked Anthony Rizzo, cancer survivor, dude's done it the right way, which he'd be in the All-Star game.
Another good thing about Austin Riley, remember, when he was struggling with the slider was at the exact same time when the Braves were trying to decide whether or not to re-sign Josh Donaldson.
That's exactly right.
Okay? They decided to let Josh Donaldson go, kept Riley, moved him up to third from left field. That decision's proven to be...
Hashtag trust Alex.
Yeah, all right. Tiger Woods says players turn their backs on the PGA Tour. He just doesn't understand how LIV players could give up playing in major championships, which we don't know for a fact that that's what's going to happen. But LIV defectors will be trying to get back into the PGA Tour within 2 years. Punt or go?
Punt alert, punt alert. It's 4th and 13. We're up 21. Let's go safe here. Gunners, get down there, do what you're supposed to do. Here's my thing with what Tiger said. To me, that's like Jeff Bezos telling me that I shouldn't have a 401k. I don't want to be told from the richest golfer ever because of the PGA Tour that these guys can't go and get guaranteed money. I know what he's doing. He's going to defend the PGA Tour because they backed up a Brinks truck to him his whole life. So in one theory, I can understand why he has to do it. But him saying that, basically saying, oh, well, if you're going to go take guaranteed money, why are you not going to be competitive? Tiger Woods isn't the only competitive golfer there is. You don't make the PGA Tour without being competitive. It's one of the hardest things to do. So that, to me, that's kind of a non sequitur. It really doesn't add up. That's not a switch you can turn on and off. And the better you do, the more money you win. It's not like, oh, hey, guess what? I got my contract now and there's no incentives. There are incentives for winning tournaments in the LIV Tour. They got more money than anybody. So to me, when a gajillionaire tells me not to go make money, I want to tell him to stick it where the sun doesn't shine. I love Tiger. I'm a big Tiger fan. I always have been. But I don't like rich people telling me to not go get my bread.
Okay. So are you going to go play on LIV now?
Look, we'll see. I'd have played pretty good the other day.
I got a call from a number I don't know.
Look, listen, I got a call from Saudi Arabia, but
I mean, look,
it was either for me or Liam Neeson.
If you can play in all the majors, why wouldn't you?
I would do it tomorrow.
We don't know if that's going to be the case.
I know.
Possibly, though.
If you could play in all of the majors and they're just dropping a bag on you, they're sending jets that you can have a dance party in or walk around and hold your hat up and show it to everybody, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah. Well, everybody's situation over there is different. Some of them are. Not everybody has guaranteed money over there.
Yeah,
like Phil does.
That's what I'm saying. Again, like I don't want the CEO of Goldman Sachs coming over here and telling me like, look, man, you may not want to invest your money in real estate or anything. You shouldn't do that. It's bad. You shouldn't. Like, dog, shut up. Let me do it. You're rich. Like, you're rich. Don't tell me what to do with my money. I'm not going to tell you don't cheat on your wife with the girl that looks exactly like her. So again, I don't understand where Tiger's coming from on here. Stop taking pills and driving. Like, come on, man. Like, don't tell me what to do with my money.
Whoa, man.
Now the suits are messed up.
Look, you know what?
Sorry.
A bonus. Here's a bonus punter go to make up for it. Tiger Woods will make the cut at the Open this week. Punter go.
In that case, I'm going to go.
Good.
You played 8-10. And again, I hope Tiger Woods wins the tournament. I love Tiger Woods, except when he tries to tell me what to do with my money or other people.
What to do.
Not me specifically, but
punt team.
You don't think
not making the cut?
Punt. We'll get on the 6th hole and his knee will start hurting.
I don't know, man.
Go to the senior tour, man.
No, Tiger does not need to go on the senior tour. I do not want to remember Tiger as a senior tour golfer. I don't
I don't want to remember Tiger looking like, I know, Stephen Hawking's on the golf course. Like, go to the senior tour, man.
Wow.
It's depressing.
Space is all
just
around
cut the man low like that. You know what I mean?
I see what you do.
I tell you, you're such a...
our
next.
Our trivia team, we go to a bar and do trivia. It's Stephen Hawking's dance class.
Yes. It's a good one. We win a lot.
Pretty good.
Wow. You want to apologize now or later?
No, I will never apologize.
Okay.
I'll apologize for absolutely nothing.
Okay. Yeah. Last one. Heinz Field got a new name. And Big Ben and a lot of Steelers fans aren't happy about it. Heinz Field is better than at Crezier Stadium. Punter go.
Go. God, Pittsburgh, come on. I didn't mind the Kenny Pickett selection. This is just ridiculous. Like, I get it in the grand scheme of things. Like, I understand how it works. But Heinz Field is kind of like a staple to me. Like when I think of the Steelers, Heinz Field is where they play. It's where it feels weird to me. And I just don't know if a Crezier or whatever you call it or whatever, the name sounds funny. First off, it's like Auburn named their arena Neville Arena or Naval Arena or something like that. I just don't like the name. I don't like the change, and I don't mind change. But I'm with Big Ben on this one. I'm not a fan of it.
I don't listen to advice from Big Ben, to be honest. He lost that privilege a long time ago to me. So.
You don't listen to advice from Big Ben?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, what about everyone else? What about just your own thoughts?
If Mike Tomlin came in here and said, I didn't like the stadium, then we need to get it fixed.
He's not doing that.
I know.
Mike Tomlin would never.
Mike was like, I don't really like this. I listen to Mike all day, every day, but Big Ben, no.
I feel like we should have names that are like grandfathered in. Like if you have that stadium name for that long, You have to call it that. I don't care if there's not a sign that says it on the whole stadium. You can have the new corporate sponsor, whatever, everywhere else. But deep down, we know the name of the stadium. That's why I like stadiums that are named after people, not companies.
Steelers just kind of try to keep catching up to all the.
Yeah, I knew somebody was going to say that's so bad. Burn that joke, throw it away. What is the Booster Club saying?
No.
Yes.
Will not burn that joke.
Burn the joke. It's Flaming Dragon. You're going to burn the joke.
Because it was fun of Booster Club member. Because now you're making fun of Booster Club member.
Now I'm making fun of you.
I'm sorry, guys. Jake's making fun of you.
Making fun of you. No, look.
I'm sorry. He's just one of those days for him. I don't know why.
No, it's not.
It's okay. Steve the Pirate says, what a garbage name. They used to pour the ketchup for a touchdown. Now what the hell are they going to pour? I don't know. It's a great.
Who knows? It's Pittsburgh.
Joe C said, both things can be true. The name sucks, and the Steelers are making more money from that business.
That is. I'm a big fan of multiple things can be true, but let's, again, name the stadium after people's names. Problem solved. There, I fixed it.
All right, Sister Rick says, stop changing classic field names. The new endorsement of fields is starting to piss her off.
Well, Sister Riggs, I need you to, first off, I appreciate that, but second off, calm down. You have a family. You have a beautiful family. You got more important things right now. So,
all right, we got Joe C. says Tiger needs to be paired with John Daly, slowest group ever.
And most watched group ever. How cool would it be to watch Tiger in contention with John Daly as John Daly's just absolutely smoking Newports left and right and drinking Bud Light on the course? You know, Golf Santa, I love some John Daly. Should be the face of the PGA Tour. You want to save the PGA Tour? Elect John Daly to be the commissioner or whatever of the PGA Tour. That would turn up. You got to chug a beer on 16 on Sunday going in the turn?
Have caddies fight.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
They'd all be in a cart. Everybody have a cart.
Fight at the turn.
Yes, yes.
He just wants every sport to have a fight in it.
Oh, my goodness.
Which I am not too against or too for. I'm kind of in the middle on it.
I still don't think the baseball thing's a bad idea. Brian Bailey says, why does your Goldman Sachs guy sound like Ben Shapiro?
Hey.
You watch your mouth.
You watch your mouth.
All right, M. Hutton says, when the LA Coliseum sold their naming rights, they made United Air keep the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in its name.
Good. Oh, my. Actually, Los Angeles did something right. That's weird coming out of my mouth to say that, but it looks like they did something right. So, nice. Hey, now, if you want to watch the rest of the show, remember, you can get the audio here. Head over to dailywire.com and become a member. Come check us out. Join the fam. Or listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with all your friends and people you just met, because you will be even closer friends, because I think they're going to like it. We're going to be right back with our top 5 toughest college football venues to win at. All right, we're going to get to our top 5 toughest college football venues to win at. And my list, of course, is going to be right. But before that, we do a little thing on Tuesday. It's called the mailbag. Cone, I know there's some pretty good questions in there. You're pretty jacked.
You ready?
Let's dance.
Great one here from Seth to kick things off. What are your thoughts on minor league sports? As someone who is tired of the woke nonsense of professional sports, I have fallen in love with the minor leagues. I live in Toledo, Ohio, shout out Toledo, Ohio, and are blessed with the walleye hockey and the Mud Hens baseball. Tickets, parking, and concessions are all priced reasonably, and the games are fun and engaging. Best of all, they show all kinds of love to the fans. Thanks for making sports fun again.
First off, Seth, thank you. Cheap beer and good times. I'll never turn that one down. The thing I like about minor leagues, outside of them doing these crazy dances now, I'm not a fan of that. I'd hit the first one that stepped in the box. You're dancing on the field. I don't care if it's minor league, little league, whatever. You're taking one in the back, and you're going to remember it for a while, at least for a couple days. But there's something so cool about, and I'm talking about minor league baseball specifically, being able to have more of a hometown team. Remember we talked about the difference between college and pro, kind of being that more local feel? That is like the perfect purgatory a little bit. We talked about how the Packers are a little bit in that purgatory because it's such a, Green Bay's not the biggest city ever when you compare it to Atlanta and Philadelphia. But when I look at minor league teams, there's such a good connection with where they're at. I mean, I think about movies like Summer Catch, stuff like that, where they're ingrained in the community. They rely on the community. And not only that, you get to watch these young guys that develop. And again, they get traded sometimes, but that actually develop into elite ball players that are helping out the team most likely that you root for. Because again, geographically, you start to get closer the higher you go up when it gets to it. But I love minor league baseball. It's great. And I will never turn down going to a minor league baseball game. It's a ton of fun. It's a great question.
Man, anything with a grassroots effort like that, like the Booster Club. Grassroots movement.
The greatest grassroots movement since Miracle Grow.
All right, this one here from Marvin. You all talk about how college football is heading for competitive mega conferences with a champion emerging from the mix. Also, you've thrown out the idea of possibly having a non-Power 5 championship, sort of like NCAA versus NIT. If things go this way, do you think there could be a chance to adopt a relegation system in college football, like English soccer? For example, if Vanderbilt goes 0-10, do you kick them out of the SEC?
In theory, I don't dislike the idea, but in practice and practicality, I don't see how that works. I don't see how you can bounce from one conference to the other. There's so many things that go into actually being in a conference with affiliations and rights and stuff like that. I think that's more of a pipe dream. I know people, I think I've heard Danny Cannell talk about it, relegation in college football. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think you're in the conference you're in now. Over time, do I think Vanderbilt should be raking in $40 million with what they're competing, how they're competing in SEC football? No, I don't. But again, Vanderbilt is the best academic institution in the SEC, and they're really using the work smarter, not harder theory. So you do got to give them some credit. But I don't think you relegate them. I think you either kick them out or you leave them in. I don't like going back and forth like that. It's just too hard in practice and to be able to execute it.
Well, relegation is an interesting concept, but I think there's two main reasons why you can't implement it in this case. One, there are more sports than just football.
True.
So if they go 0-10 in football, but they win the golf championship or Vanderbilt wins the baseball championship, are you kicking? You can't kick them out of the SEC when they've won multiple sports but lost. Like, you're just going to use football, you're just going to use basketball. And then two, these conferences sign these TV deals far in advance.
For sure.
And the TV contracts are determined by, they're running the math on, okay, who's in the conference and what sorts of eyeballs are going to be brought, this, and that. You can't just at the end of one season kick someone out when they're under contract, say with the ACC, through 2036.
Yeah, again, Vanderbilt does good in sports that don't make any money. So you're not making anybody any money. Basically, Vanderbilt's worth is that, hey, guys, the SEC does care about academics because we have Vanderbilt. That's the last string that's holding this balloon from going off. Because, again, that's great you're good in underwater basket weaving. That's great you're good in the Sudoku finals or Jeopardy or whatever it is. But in football, it's been a disaster. In basketball, you've been a disaster lately. And I hate to say that because I remember when Vanderbilt was scary as hell to go play in basketball literally every year. So to me, Vanderbilt is basically stealing from the SEC. And it's the truth. I'm sorry. That's why I said I know we have an Ivy League, but there needs to be another league that's set up. Maybe like the Ivy League Plus or something, or like the Super Ivy League, or like the Overgrown Ivy League with like Stanford and Vandy and Georgia Tech and teams like that. That's just my opinion. And I don't think I'm alone in that.
Last one here from Steven. Does Team USA's chances of winning the FIFA World Cup in 2026 increase with the majority of the games being played in the United States? Keep in mind, there are going to be some U.S., some Canada, and some Mexico.
It can only help. We do good at home. Now, we do good abroad, too, back-to-back World War champs. But at home, I feel like it's a little bit different. We believe. But again, we will not win the World Cup until they let me be in charge of it and let me do what I want to do. And Blaine agrees with me. I think you agree with me. We get 15 to 20 kids. We have tryouts. If you're 5 to 7, to quote, Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, we're going to have tryouts. And I want to see around the world, around the United States, contiguous and Hawaii and all that stuff, who are the best 15 to 25 to 7-year-olds. We get them together. We get them on a plane. We take them over to some small Italian town. We don't tell anybody where they're at, and we let them ingratiate into the town. They become better. They can't use their hands for at least 3 years. I'm talking about changing the remote with your feet, getting the fork out of the silverware drawer with your feet, doing nothing with your hands. And by the time, just check me here, by the time 2035 rolls around, I mean, if you're looking right now, we're in 2022, 5 to 7-year-old, that's 13 years. 2035 rolls around, we are going to have the Globonauts of soccer. And they're not going to blow it in the finals like Globo Gym did against Peter LaFleur and Average Joe's.
I won't hold my breath, but
yeah,
I'd love that.
All right, here's what I want. I'm going to go last this time, okay? I want to go last. Top 5 toughest venues in college football to win at. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. I ain't scared.
You want to go, Cone?
Bring up that top 5 list. There we go.
Okay.
Boom. 1, I'm going to start with LSU. Try going in there and getting a win, especially at night. Look, 2, I'm going to have Penn State just because I've seen it. I've lived it. I've experienced the whiteout up close, in person, at night. Guys, it's tough to go in there and get a win. 3, Neyland Stadium. What more do I need to say?
Not I mean, look,
They're throwing golf balls at Lane Kiffin, for God's sake, which was not a pretty sight. Tough to go in and get a win at Neyland Stadium there at Tennessee. Look, I have to say the horseshoe. Look, with Ohio, the team that I'm talking about there.
Ohio State?
Yeah, look, I give them their due, man. It's tough to go in there and get a win, and I've seen it from the moment you step off the bus, things get ugly. And this was when we weren't even competitive one year. Can you imagine going in there ranked 1 versus 2? All right, number 5. I have Texas A&M and Kyle Field on this list for one game. What I saw last year against Alabama, that kick at the end, the 12th man moved that ball in between the goalposts, and they won that game. And Zach Calzada.
Well, don't forget, I wouldn't put it past them. They're there like at midnight working on yelling. They're in the stadium yelling the whole time. I wouldn't. If they took the scientists at Texas A&M and got together and said, listen, we need to be good enough when that ball comes off the foot, if we feel like it's going left, we need the left side of the stadium, the way the kicker's looking at it, to go absolutely ballistic. And if you go look, that's what happened. Either that or there's a legitimate warlock that is a Texas A&M fan that used whatever Accio, whatever, to get that ball to go back through the goal.
Yeah, so I have to give Texas A&M credit. Very tough place to win.
Bad list.
You got to start winning the big ones, though. Yeah. Now, one thing I will say, we were talking about this top 5 list because this got a lot of traction on Twitter, was someone asking about the Big House at Michigan not being a top 10 most intimidating place, and they were getting my thoughts on it. And I was like, that list was top 10. And I said, I don't see any problems with this because when Michigan Stadium was built, it was built like Yale's Ivy League Stadium. It's a bowl to accommodate the most amount of people possible, which is why the Big House is the largest stadium in the country, but that keeps it from going vertical, so it's not the loudest place to play. Whereas you go to some of these SEC schools that are tiered instead of bowl-shaped, like in LSU or like Neyland Stadium, the sound gets trapped in there. You incorporate that with the fans that are at LSU and Tennessee and Penn State and some of those places. It's nuts.
All right, bring up my list. I want to see it with my eyes.
All right, Blaine.
All right, here we go. Well, obviously LSU.
Yes.
These people are insane. Insane. They literally jump into the water and grab their food with their hands. That's what they do. Especially a night game, good luck, you're not winning. 2, Penn State.
Okay.
Whiteout, I'm telling you. That stuff was, as an Auburn fan, I love seeing that.
That was crazy.
That was awesome. Great environment. Tennessee. Also, insane. So many people you can fit in there, and they're now starting to get good, starting to get better. Josh Heupel, quick, everybody get lined up. They're starting to feel a little bit of success, all right? And Auburn, this is not a homer pick for me, okay? There's some witchcraft, some voodoo magic, some Hermione Muggblood stuff going around in Auburn that no one can figure out. I don't know if it was buried on a cemetery, or maybe like 400 years ago, there's a fight of wizards.
It's the Bermuda Triangle.
I don't know. Just weird stuff happens in this place. And I want everybody to remember this, all right? Auburn started that swag surfing stuff. Auburn started it, okay?
We invented everything.
Auburn started, maybe, but Auburn started it. Don't at me because I won't respond. I might, but don't at me. All right, 5, Georgia. Georgia doesn't get a lot of respect when it comes to this. Go to a Georgia game and tell me you're not questioning a lot of things about your life when you leave. I mean, I'd said about this on a TikTok. Yeah. These people are 60 years old, painted, shoulder pads with spikes on them. Like, they don't care. They're loud the whole game, and I believe in Georgia. Didn't have Texas A&M on there because Texas A&M, the whole process of that just freaks me out.
Well, I appreciate your honesty.
Just freaks me out.
Okay, my list. Permission to tell a really quick story and why it's number 1.
Please.
Here's why LSU, one of the many reasons why LSU is the toughest place to play. Number 1, let's go and be honest. They caused an earthquake. It's so loud.
True.
That they caused a phenomenon, a absolute nature phenomenon caused an earthquake. They did it. Number 2, any fan base that can start to drink liquor at 7 in the morning and they can somehow function at 8 at night, I am totally putting you at the top of the list. But here's the story. I'll never forget I went down to an LSU game when I was a wee lad. Okay, walking around with a buddy of mine. I was Auburn and LSU, had an Auburn shirt on. And typically, at Auburn, everybody's nice in the tailgate. You want food, here it is. Welcome here, hope you enjoyed. Here's some good places to go. I walk up to a tailgate because this guy has this huge pot. And he's just stirring it. It smells so good. He had tons of stuff in there. So I walk up to him in my Auburn shirt. My buddy was LSU fan, had LSU shirt on. Then we had another buddy that had an Auburn shirt on. And I looked, man, I said, man, what do you got in there? And he's like, why? Do y'all want some? I was like, yeah, for sure. I was like, what's in there? He goes, I got some duck sausage. You want some of it? I was like, yeah, man, I would love that. He's like, well, why don't you Auburn boys duck down here and get it then? Grown man. to an 11-year-old. Why don't you boys
11?
duck? I was 11 years old, and he said it. And at that point, was I mad? No. Was I embarrassed? Heck no. But I knew at that point they cared more than anybody. Because if you have 3-year-olds that are flicking people off that are coming in, probably been drinking the whole time they were there. But it's just an absolute crazy environment. Death Valley is an unbelievable place to play. And those Cajuns, y'all know, baby, we got love for y'all on the show. There ain't no party like a Cajun party down in Death Valley at night. That place is rocking, literally shook the earth. Number 2, Kyle Field, okay? You've got everybody that's a Texas A&M fan goes to every game. They don't sit down. It's like when I go to church, I'm Catholic. Like, you don't sit down. You're a little bit up, you're a little bit down, but most of the time you're standing. So they stand, they get absolutely nuts, that environment, not only because of what they hold, but again, you're in sync with the yells. You want to know what's horrifying? If I'm driving down the interstate, my car breaks down, and all of a sudden a bunch of, people come out of the woods together, like a big group of people, that's scary enough. But when they come out of the woods together and they're all singing songs in unison, and you got guys that are like doing like the hip things and overalls, that scares me to death. Okay, that is horrifying, and Kyle Field's number 2. Number 3, for the same reason, Beaver Stadium, Penn State, the whiteout, one of the greatest environments that there is in college football. It's absolutely bananas. It's so bananas it made Mike Bobo throw a slot fade at the goal line to try and score a touchdown on 4th down. So again, that's how crazy it was. Then 4, Auburn, Jordan Hare. Only Alabama's kryptonite, man. Alabama's kryptonite. You go in there, crazy stuff happens. The miracle in Jordan Hare. Kick 6. Again, if you float a balloon up there, it may turn into something else. There's something about Jordan Hare, like Blaine said, that is just something goes on in there. It's just the air's different. Like, you can feel it. It's like when you go through Diagon Alley and you pop up at Hogwarts. Just the air's different. That's, again, I'm going to be surprised if there's a Diagon Alley in Auburn somewhere, and I'd be willing to bet you it's by Toomer's Corner. I'd be willing to bet that. Then 5, the Swamp. Let's be realistic, guys. I know Florida hasn't been outstanding here lately, and a lot of people are sleeping on Billy Napier. But I'm telling you right now, the Swamp, when that place is cooking, it is absolutely nuts. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium gets as loud as any stadium there is. And the way it's set up kind of keeps air in, a little bit like Autzen Stadium, the way Oregon does, but it's way more people, or keeps sounding, excuse me. So I'll take Florida at number 5. I feel good about my list, fellas.
I like it.
What does the Booster Club say, Blaine?
Loving the list, guys. Loving the list. Texas A&M's getting a lot of love. Sister Rick says, my high school teacher was an Aggie. She was like 4'8" and freaking intimidating.
Look,
at a football.
There's levels to the stuff, okay? Like,
I don't know why people are attacking my aim. I don't know what happened here.
What'd you do?
But I don't know. I looked in the chat. I was talking. I came back, and people are attacking my aim.
Oh, wait. I think Brittany said something about you trying to shoot her with a Nerf gun earlier.
Really?
Which,
okay.
Almost had the whole office on lockdown with Nerf guns.
No, I don't listen to Arkansas fans when they talk about stuff.
Wow. Shots fired.
Buddy, you would get killed in basketball. I hope you know
what's the Twitter handle, Blaine? At Blaine Crane? At Blaine _Crane?
I think Blaine _Crane.
Arkansas fans, it's at Blaine _Crane. He said that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
I did say that.
Cone didn't say that.
Whoopig Suey.
Blaine Crane said that.
I did say that. I'm not, whatever. I mean, square up. That's what I don't care. Jimbo Eagle said the Loud House, a.k.a. Syracuse Carrier Dome, really can get insane.
Get out.
Oh. You know what?
Are you hitting on someone on the soundboard?
No, but I had forgotten to put one punter go topic on here that I saw earlier. Can I hit y'all with it?
What was it?
I don't want you to hit me with it.
Jake Paul should fight Conor McGregor. Punter go.
Go. And I want to watch Conor McGregor absolutely sleep Jake Paul.
Punt.
I want to see him absolutely sleep Jake Paul. I know the beef. They're setting up to fight. This is why they beef like this. I'm just so absolutely sick of hearing.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Blaine.
Wait, oh my.
Look, I love it. I got to check the poll on Twitter.
Listen,
hey, my hair's a little darker today.
Listen, keep the picture up. If you're on audio, go to YouTube
I'm so
right
glad
now.
we play this on the second half.
This is what
I'm so
Blaine would
glad
look
we
like
put
with
this on the
blonde
second
hair.
half.
All right, we got to say
good, baby.
You look like
I look good.
Brooks Koepka meets
I look
Eminem.
good. But the thing about it is, like, do I buzz it though?
You know what you look like? You look like the guy who almost made the finals of American Idol, like all of them.
I just look
that's
like
what you
the-
look
probably
like.
like the-
Yeah, you look like, you tried out for American Idol and you may be getting your real estate license.
Yeah, or
That's good. That's
you were like this. You were like the reserve for NSYNC in case one of them got
Look,
sick.
Yeah.
look, JT,
You got
let me know.
A little bit of Lance Bass in you.
Well, I
there.
would punt on that. Jake Paul fight me.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to see that, but I'm gonna head over to the board of Braves.
Just
Why
'cause
did you
this
do that to me
picture
last
came up
night?
doesn't mean I'm also like not gonna get my hair dyed blonde.
Blaine, listen, I'm
Don't
I'm
care.
always honest with you.
That's fine.
If you dye your hair blonde, I'm gonna disparage you mercilessly on the show.
you gonna-
Every day it's gonna be.
So you're
something.
thinking about buzzing your hair. and dyeing it blonde like that.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
You're a monster.
Wow.
Why not?
We'll see how it goes.
Well, I guess I could get it dyed blonde first and then have it for a little bit, then buzz it.
I just want to see you be about some action because I keep hearing you talk about a lot of things.
I mean,
over
stand
there.
up. What's up?
Whoa.
Well, I'm not Jake Paul. I thought you were going to fight Jake Paul.
I'll fight a full-grown grizzly bear. I mean, it's whatever.
Did you see what he tweeted the other day?
Yeah, they put
You don't want that.
They put a mirror in the forest, and this huge bear saw the reflection and almost ripped the tree out of the ground.
What did Kobe say? Are you what did he say?
Are you
the same animal but a different beast?
Nobody knows that.
You're Kobe now, huh?
Yeah, it's provocative. Gets the people going. All right, here's the bets for today. We're not going to talk about what happened yesterday. I just want to tell everybody in San Diego, I'll never forgive you. Hope you know that. All right, here's what I got today. Little parlay on the first pick, guys. Little parlay on the first pick. Not a bad month so far. Kind of even, keeping a little bit steady. Give me Atlanta money line and them combined with who they're playing over 8.5 runs. That is going off at plus 210. Giants, help us God. Then give me the Yankees money line and who they're playing over 8 runs, also at plus 215. I'm reaching out there, guys. I'm putting my hand into the hole, waiting for the catfish to bite and ripping that son of a gun out. We're going to see if it comes through tonight. So Atlanta, Yankees, best of both worlds. Get out of my head. I feel like the guy from Split. Cone, what do you got?
Look, rough night for the Braves last night against the Mets. Low-scoring affair. I really like this same-game parlay here. I want Braves money line plus the over 8.5 runs at plus 210. And I think Acuna gets a hit. I have that at plus 115.
You love to see it.
Blaine, where are you going?
I thought you had Acuna over 1.5 bases.
Yes.
One and a half bases.
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
Yes, I believe you have Acuna over 1.5 bases.
Well, what did I send earlier?
You talk different you did before.
Why you talk different?
Why you talk different you did before?
Yes, 1.5 bases.
1.5 bases. I'm telling you, just.
You okay over there, Dave? You good to go?
But,
The
yeah,
manager
1.5
over here.
bases.
Hey, we're gonna get a
because
pinch hitter in here.
1.5 bases, which don't include walks, right?
Which is ridiculous.
Thank you, walks.
Which is ridiculous. Just hit a double. He hits a home run, y'all both hit, because Wayne, tell him your picks.
No, I woke up this morning and felt dangerous. I know it's not a Friday.
I don't like when you say that when you're holding and looking at a baseball bat.
Let me repeat it and look you in the eyes while I say it. I woke up this morning and felt dangerous. Yeah. You know,
I like it. Rather you look at me.
You know, I'm taking Acuna maybe first at bat.
Dinger?
To the crib. You know, gone. Give me a home run. Acuna plus 320. All right, either that or take Austin Riley.
Wait, you have Acuna doing what now?
Hitting a
homer.
Just any time in the game, not first at bat.
Just any time in the game.
Okay.
If it was first at bat, those odds better be.
That would be way higher.
Or I'd be upset. Jake, can you move your right a little bit?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Sorry. Then I'm taking, little Rays, Boston, Nerfy. All right, 2 good arms on the mound. I'm going to stick with this Nerfy stuff, guys. I don't know why I'd go away from it. Went 1-1 yesterday. St. Louis and the Phillies really let me down.
Yeah.
Phillies scored 1 run, I think, in that game, and that had to be in the first inning. So, Philly fans, just like the entire MLB, it's the best of you. We all hate y'all, so stop doing it. All right, so that's what, 14-4, got to keep it steady.
All right. Baby Cone. 2 out of 3 last night. Remember, we're giving him an extra bet to be able to catch up. He's got the Reds plus 1.5. Going off at plus 135. Not a bad bet there, especially from a toddler. Then Atlanta, first 5 to be leading, minus 135. And then the White Sox, game 2. Game 2, first 5, minus a half. So really, money line when you really get to it. And minus 130, even though the minus a half, if you do break even, if it's a tie, you do lose.
Because game 1's already on. Let's see.
Game 1's already on.
Game 1's already over. 4-1 Guardians.
Dude, Cleveland's
Who's that?
4-1 Cleveland baseball team over the White Sox.
I don't know what team you just said or whatever that was.
2, and yes, Dylan C.
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Go ahead.
I have no E at the end of my name.
Yes, he does.
I have no E at the end of my name, and I've been letting it go because I'm a very patient person. And, I want everybody to have fun, but I can only take so much.
Wow, that one really...
There's no E.
Who spells Tanner with an E at the end of it?
Yeah, I know. That's Blaine's government name. You just found out.
I'm going to start... You lie, Papa. You lie.
We're not live. They'll cut it out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right. Booster Club Pick Tracker 2022.
Yes.
Here's what we got. Katie Rose is 8-0. Remember, the Hall of Fame.
Come on, Katie.
No, it's a
Come on, Katie.
Come on, Katie.
You got this.
Come on, Katie. 2 more. Love her pick. She's 8-0. She wants Randy Arizona to get a hit. That's minus 190. Playing it safe, trying to get to the Hall of Fame. Smart lady. Neftink, 6-0. Marlins money line, minus 152. Huddy, 3-0. Angels, Astros, Nerfy, minus 105. Simon Says Blog, used his picture for the show tweet today because it was hilarious, is 3-0. Okay. Wants the Astros money line. It's going off at minus 125. JT Bryan 91's 2-0. Braves Mets Nerfy minus 103. Quitter 16 2-0. Rays money line plus 100. He will die on the no Nerfy hill. He's going against it. He's looking at the dark forces.
Oh, is he really?
He likes them. All right, Canyon Reed Brock is 1-0. Wants Cleveland baseball team versus White Sox. He wants the Sox minus 1.5. All right, so that's going up at plus 130. The Red Aaron still in an absolute fist fight with the Blue Aaron. He's 2-0. Wants Royals and Tigers anti-Nerfy. Going off at minus 125. Wow, there's a lot of dark energy today. I can just feel it. Tall Riots 0-2. Congrats. He wants Josiah Gray under 2.5 walks. And then Cam Fran. I think there's a 4 where the A should be in Fran, but I think that's where you're going. I think that's our buddy Cameron Francis. 0-2. He wants the Cleveland baseball team money line in the first game with Justin Bieber on the mound. No, I'm kidding. It's not Justin Bieber, but it is Shane Bieber, and he's on the mound at minus 155. So we got a couple minutes for some parting thoughts here, guys.
Man, your boy Jabari Smith balled last night, didn't he?
We got to get a Houston jersey in here.
He's got to get used to the pace of playing the NBA. It's a much different game. I did love watching him drain a couple threes. He's starting to get a little more comfortable. Look, he's a young guy. Remember how young Jabari is. But look, Banchero's so good. The Magic are like, no more summer league. The Magic are like, timeout, timeout. Like, he had one play like, timeout in the game. It's like the water boy when he brings the ref's water. It's like, timeout in the game like Pablo, go to the locker room. Don't move.
Put a poll out.
Don't move.
Put a poll out?
Put a poll out.
Haven't looked at it.
I know you have.
Because I never look
It's
at
not
it.
up there. Should I dye my hair blonde?
Wow.
What do y'all think?
Man.
I'm going to say just because people want to see you make a mistake.
What is it, man? What's wrong?
I just think.
What's wrong?
We did this already with you shaving your head, and the Booster Club voted
and what did I
in
say?
the majority.
But what did I say had to happen?
But then you made stipulations about blah blah blah, and I'm sitting here, and you don't have a shaved head.
I just want. I didn't get 10,000.
So to me, it doesn't matter.
Subscribers, so I'm not putting incentives on this one. I just want to know. I want to know what the pulse of the Booster Club is.
Actually, you go first, Cone. I always go first. On this.
Yeah. They said no at 70%.
I'm just going to say.
hope so.
Yeah, I'm just going to say they said yes at any percent, because if that's true, it doesn't matter what percentage I give you.
They said, should I dye my hair blonde? Yes, 40%.
Oh,
no.
I knew.
Why would you not want to see him make a mistake?
After they saw that picture, there was no way they wanted that in real life.
Why would you not want to see Blaine make the ultimate mistake? Come on, guys, be better.
Have a little fun. Lame.
Not lame. I do want to say this. Looking at the Major League Baseball All-Star Game right now, I know I said this yesterday, but I want to make sure everybody hears me again. We should not have a rep from each team. We shouldn't do it. We need to stop.
Yeah,
we need to stop it right now. It goes against anything that an All-Star Game is. I am 100% on board that each team does not deserve. It's in participation trophies. It's just like what drives me nuts. Like, oh, I'm taking my kid to this birthday party, and then he gets a gift bag at another kid's birthday. It's that kid's birthday. Not everybody gets a gift bag. Grow up.
We have a funny joke today.
Let me see it. Let me see how Brittany did. Let me read it real quick. Yeah, it's. I'd say maybe a tiny bit above average.
Okay.
So here's the joke. So go ahead and get ready to just absolutely, laugh in your space boots on this one. I've started investing in stocks. First chicken, then beef, now vegetable. Despite the potential risks, I believe one day I'll be a billionaire.
God, it's terrible.
That's, now that I read it out loud, now that I said it out loud, like it's not as good as I thought.
The fact that
I'm
she
sorry.
probably looked at that and laughed. This is now I'm.
Hey, there will be no team member blasphemy.
You have slandered.
Okay.
You get in this. You get in this chat and see what she says on here.
Really? Is it?
Yeah. Oh, God. She threw my Twilight thing out there like it was nothing. There's no
hold on. What is your
safe with her?
What is your Twilight?
When I was in high school, I liked Twilight a lot.
When you were in high school, it sounds like maybe that.
You just told so many people
I went
that.
to midnight premiere. Okay, I don't care. I like Twilight a lot. Hashtag don't care. I thought the chick was hot in it. Bella.
Were you team?
Team Jacob?
Team Jacob
or team? What's the other guy? The Batman.
Edward.
Team Batman.
Yeah.
Team Batman.
Isn't he the one?
Yeah, which they totally.
Robert Pattinson.
Have you seen that new Batman?
No.
Terrible.
I watched it. Not a fan.
Terrible.
Not a fan.
Oh, but I do have to put out. I have to put out my Godfather review. I rewatched The Godfather in honor of James Caan this weekend. I thought that out of respect, that was way.
Remember when you watched the other guys?
Wait, you need to put out a Godfather review? I mean, just turn it on. It's fire.
I'm gonna put out.
Yeah,
a review.
some people don't know. I have to go and say like, look, this 5 stars. I have to be on record.
I'm gonna start putting out reviews of your reviews.
I like that. That's funny.
A review.
I'm gonna get more
review.
traction, and then I just hope that I couldn't care any less about what your opinion.
I don't know.
You know that.
Well, I think Blaine hurt your feelings earlier, so I think you're kind of contradicting.
On what part?
The quarterback thing for the Ravens.
Oh, well, I was wondering. He said I could win a Super Bowl with the Vikings. Should I feel good about that? Should I not feel good about that? I don't know. It's kind of like maple syrup. I love maple syrup.
If you would have said David, if you would have just said David could go to the Vikings right now and be good, but you didn't say that. You said even David. So, to me, that.
I'm going to go back and listen to it. I'm going to work out some feelings.
Today's society is just so nitpicky, man. I just said you're better than Kirk Cousins.
You want to hug it out, or you want to? What's the deal?
Do that?
You want to hug it out?
Not CNN Plus.
What's that?
Hug it out or what?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Not right now.
Okay, hey, look, I love where your head's at. You're such a team player.
I was trying.
It's unbelievable.
I was trying
all right, make sure you're following us on all social media platforms, TikTok, all that. We have merch. Go to thedailywire.com. Got great stuff. Booster Club. Got more coming out. I think you're really going to be excited about the merchandise. And we got some huge announcements. We may be road tripping here soon. Just remember, you heard it here first. But also, Twitter. Check us out. We have a lot of fun. We appreciate you guys. And remember, regardless of what you believe, just believe in it. We'll always have fun. And we always recommend and love dissent on this show. So make sure you check it out. And like Blaine's chances of looking good with dyed hair, especially if it's blonde, we're gone.